The name of our brand new elementary school, Montgomery County Public School's 210th school, is named after an American hero, an African-American woman who led enslaved people to freedom. As the inaugural principal of Harriet Tubman Elementary School, my hope is that our staff, students, and community emulate all of the characteristics and qualities of our namesake.
Harriet Tubman was tireless in her quest for social justice and equality. She never quit. Up until her 93rd birthday, she was still advocating for the rights of others. Harriet Tubman was a freedom fighter. She was a leader, a liberator, a humanitarian. Harriet Tubman was born into slavery in March of 1822. Tubman spent her formative years here in the Choptank River region. It's where she honed her skills that made her a successful conductor on the Underground Railroad. She knew how to read the signs of nature. She knew how to read the landscape. She knew how to read people. She knew who to trust, who not to trust. She was a master of disguise. She was powerful, she was strong, she was a woman of a mere 5 feet tall, yet she accomplished great and wonderful things. Harriet Tubman was often referred to as the Moses of her people, after the biblical figure Moses, who led his people out of Egypt to freedom. Harriet Tubman knew she would rather have freedom than live here enslaved in Dorchester County. And when she reached that line of freedom, she realized how wonderful it was, but she missed her family back in Maryland, and she missed her community and her friends. And so her love of her family is what motivated Tubman. And I think that's a universal concept that we can all relate to. Who wouldn't want to save their family from a life of slavery? She spoke of how it felt when she reached freedom, and she said the sun shimmered like gold through the trees and the fields.
She felt that first taste of freedom, and she said, I gotta, have other people feel this. So that's what led for her to come back, 13 times and free, 70 enslaved people.
She rescued her siblings, she rescued her parents eventually. There was a bounty on her head, and if she was caught, she would likely have been sold south into a slavery far worse than what was experienced here in Maryland. Harriet Tubman traveled with a pistol on her rescue missions, and not only was that protection for slave catchers, but Tubman wanted to make sure that the people she was carrying north to freedom were not going to turn around halfway through and go home and give away the location of her and the other freedom seekers. So she kept order, and she really had to motivate people to continue the journey north. It was hard, they were hungry, they were cold, and they had to travel at night. One of Harriet Tubman's most famous quotes was, "I was the conductor of the Underground Railroad for 8 years, and I can say what most conductors cannot say. I never ran my train off the tracks, and I never lost a passenger." Harriet Tubman was the first female to lead an armed raid in the Civil War. She was a scout, a spy, a nurse. She had access to colonels and generals that most white men did not have access to. During the Combahee River raid, she helped free over 700 enslaved people along the Combahee River as they burned plantations. Harriet Tubman spent the last half of her life in Auburn, New York, and she formed the Home for the Aged. She went on to really advocate for civil rights, for the right to vote.
Harriet Tubman's life has been celebrated and commemorated with museums, artwork, statues, postage stamps, a battleship, and now a state-of-the-art elementary school here in Gaithersburg, Maryland. As we celebrate her 200th birthday, my hope is that all of our students will look to Harriet as a role model, that each student will be a leader, an equity warrior, and a champion for their families, just like Harriet.
The Take My Hand mural, located in downtown Cambridge, it's inspiring. It's saying, trust me, there is a better future here waiting for you.
The Take My Hand mural is your way to be able to touch Harriet almost. And she's gonna lead you on a journey to see how you can advance and bring people along in the light as Harriet did.
Harriet Tubman was a 19th century American hero who is still relevant today. She transcends race, gender, religion. She speaks that regardless of your disadvantages, because she came from the bondages of slavery, she suffered debilitating seizures, she was illiterate in the traditional sense, yet she made choices and decisions that had a positive impact on her community and really the nation. So if Harriet Tubman can do it, then so can you.